So most of what unfolds in the mind is conditioning and habituation, unconsciously expressing itself. It's your mind's programming. It's your mind's programming. It's your mind's programming. You're observing your mind's programming. You are the observer, observing your mind's programming.
How do we change it?
Just realize that you are the one that is observing the mind's programming. You are the one that is observing the mind's programming. Are you beginning to realize yourself as the one that is watching what's going on in your mind? And that one that is watching, can you describe that one? Does it have a shape? Does it have a form? Does it have a color? It is just awareness. Your whole world is your mind. Your whole world is your mind. This is why we hear every week studying the mind. And students are far too hard on themselves, always expecting themselves to be perfect. So here's what's happening. You have this mind that got unconsciously programmed, and it's acting out its algorithms, and it's doing its thing. And then on top of that, it's getting upset with itself for doing that, for doing what it was taught to do. Your mind is doing what it was taught to do. Your mind is doing what it was taught to do. And then you get mad that it's doing it. That does not make an equation for a peaceful life. But you've got to step into awareness. You've got to step into consciousness about it. You've got to realize for yourself what I'm saying and put it to the test. Am I doing that? How am I doing? What are you talking about? We have a comment here from Facebook. Reality, including pain, isn't something we perceive. It's something the mind creates. That's my buddy Eric in Brazil right now. We're having an international meeting of the minds here. The mind is everything. The mind is creating this experience. I am the one observing the mind. You see, you have to get that separation. And then you can watch your mind, and then you can be like, wait a minute, and this goes back to what you were saying, Jordan. This is what my mind is doing. I don't want my mind to do that. Okay, how do I rewire this? How do I reprogram it? But you're reprogramming it from a conscious place, observing consciously what the mind is doing, and then just consciously choosing is really rather easy once you see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just being in the moment's like so nice, because I'm thinking about the other day we actually almost went skydiving, and we drive all the way over there, and we get there, we're waiting like 2 hours, we sign the waivers and all that, then we're sitting there and we're waiting. My brother and my friend are complaining. We just want to jump already. And I'm like, this is perfect. Because like all I'm doing, I'm not worrying about anything at all right now. I'm perfectly happy sitting right here. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking a little bit about this plane jump. And it's just peaceful. And they're like, oh, we've been wasting our whole Sunday. I'm like, this feels like vacation to me. Like we've been sitting on the beach all day because my mind's completely shut off.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to think about anything. And I think that's kind of the thing I realize about myself is that I'm always thinking about either way far in the future. Okay, if I quit my job and then I just hang out, but then hang on a second, what if like that doesn't work out the way I think it's going to work out, and then I get this job and I hate this job, or like, oh, I yelled at my ex 3 years ago and I still feel bad about it. And you know, then you have a couple moments where you're like, okay, this blue Powerade and these chips are amazing, and I'm not thinking about anything else. But it's like getting to those moments when you're not gaining weight from just eating garbage or doing something reckless. It's I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, I guess, to get to those moments, but it's really hard. Because
See, but here's the thing. Like, you hear what he said? To get to those moments, that's the problem.
Right, that is the problem. I agree.
No. You have to realize that you're already in that moment.
Right.
And the moment that you're trying to get to it, you lost it.
Right.
You're already there. You're already here.
Right.
You just have to stay here. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah. That's definitely easier said than done. Yeah.
See, and this is very important, because we keep thinking that this is a destination out somewhere else. And when I get to enlightenment, when I get to peace, no, wrong, no.
Agreed. Yeah.
You are peace. It is your natural state. Loving kindness, compassion, patience. You feel most home, most aligned. It will tell you immediately. It won't be any doubt in your mind when you're in that space that you're home. That place is here and now, and it's the only place that you always are and have always been. But then in your mind, you go wandering off like, into the universe somewhere, and you're not here, and you're in the thoughts in your mind, and you're in the world in your mind, and everything is, and all the things that you just say, and oh, my ex this, and this, and that, and this happened in second grade, and oh my God, my parents, and what about this? And your mind that's the circus that I'm talking about. It was a great example of the circus that I'm talking about. And when you realize that you are the one observing the circus, here's the circus, and I'm the one observing it, now, I can look away from the circus. Is the circus still here? Is it still here? It's still there. But without my attention, without me paying attention to it, it's not part of my experience anymore. I've even said, say there's a sport you don't like, maybe, I don't know, soccer or something, not to diss soccer is fun, but say there's a TV playing, and it's playing a soccer match, teams you don't know, you don't care about. It's in the background, you're somewhere, and there's a TV playing soccer, right? You don't even notice it. You don't have any interest in it. You're not interested in that game. You're not interested in that sport. It's there, it's playing, you don't notice it. Why? Because your attention's not on it. But in order for you to really take your attention away from it, you have to realize yourself something other than what's being observed. Not in a pretend way. You have to realize yourself as the observer.